Hey everybody, we are here at South Florida Integrative Health Center, and we just want to talk today about being preventative and proactive. What we do here at South Florida Integrative Health Center is really look for the root causes, not just treat symptoms. That's really important. Treating symptoms, not to underestimate that or take anything away from that. That is important to get somebody out of whatever is going on in their conditions. But what about finding why that is happening? And more importantly, how do you prevent? How do you be proactive where you really understand about what is going on in these underlying root causes? So, what we do here is really look at very advanced functional labs, and that at often times can be the same labs that we're ordering at normal doctors and practitioner appointments. But the difference is we're not waiting for it to go beyond the range. Quite often, that range is way too broad for each unique individual person. That only picks up disease. And of course, once you pick up disease, there's typically a medication for that. What we're looking for is the ideal number. There is an ideal number, an optimal number, let's say for fasting glucose and fasting insulin. There's an ideal number for homocysteine and other markers that actually what we're looking for is where they stand in that lab range. Is it trending up or trending down? And is it at the optimal place? Even something like the MCV, which is the size of the red blood cell, there is an ideal number. We're not waiting for it to be out of the range. In fact, numbers of labs have increased that range, so more and more people fit into that as being okay within the normal limits. But in reality, what's happening is that blood cell is getting larger and larger, meaning that it's thirsting, it's needing certain nutrients. And in this case, that's vitamin B12 and folate. So what's so important is to know what labs to order. Yes, we look at vitamins and minerals. We're looking at zinc and magnesium, vitamin D, as well as many other nutrients. But we're also looking for these processes that are underlying, that are the root causes of disease, such as inflammation. Now, acute inflammation is important because it lets the body know that something is wrong, and that is a different story. But we're talking here is chronic inflammation that really is ongoing for a long period of time, and that is a root cause of disease. And what we want to do is find out why is there chronic inflammation? Could it be food sensitivities? Could it be mold or environmental toxins? Could it be something going on in the gut? And yes, gut health is an extremely important part of overall health. So what we do is we use very advanced tests, not just a stool culture. What we want to know is if there is an overgrowth of bacteria, if there's an overgrowth that can make it become inflammatory, confuse our immune system. We also want to make sure there's enough digestive enzymes, which is what's checked on this particular GI stool test. We're looking at if there's any kind of reaction to gliadin, and that is a protein in gluten, which is found in wheat, oats, and rye. And other different grains that we're looking very carefully at. If the body is sending antibodies, the immune system is reacting to these proteins. We really want to ensure overall gut health, because gut health affects metabolism, whether we're really processing our foods correctly. And that is how we really can see why is there elevated fasting insulin, what is going on with the metabolism and blood sugars. When it comes to cardiovascular, what we want to know is that underlying process. Is there oxidative stress? Is there an insult to the arterial lining that we see inflammation, endothelial, which is the lining of the arteries? And we can measure that by certain enzymes, like myeloperoxidase is an example of an enzyme that when we see elevated, we know that there's already an active process going on with the lining of the arteries, much more indicative of a process ongoing than just doing those regular labs, cholesterol, LDL, and HDL. What we look for is the particle size. Are they getting small and dense? Are they increasing in number? Is there inflammation? Is there oxidation? Is there irritation of the endothelial lining? Very important when it comes to cardiovascular disease. When it comes to metabolic disease, we're looking for the communication with the thyroid and the adrenals. We check on everybody how that communication is by measuring the activity of the thyroid, which can be measured by a TSH, free T4, and free T3. But we want to make sure that it's at the ideal number, not just in the range. Same with the adrenal glands, measuring cortisol and making sure that that's balanced with the fasting insulin and fasting glucose. Because when we put the whole picture together, you can see these patterns, and that's how we can be proactive and preventative. So, yes, we are taking appointments. You can give us a call at 305-799-1263 here at South Florida Integrative Health Center. But more importantly is to be proactive and preventative, because you can be if we're doing the right tests and we're looking at the right numbers in the right perspective holistically, putting it all together, then that's when we can achieve optimal health. Everyone have a healthy, happy day.